He was 71, healthy, and active. This morning he collapsed. Here's what you must know. Have you ever stopped to consider that your seemingly harmless morning habits might be silently undermining your health even if you feel completely fine? Imagine this: you wake up each day with good intentions, trying to take care of your body, only to unknowingly set yourself up for a serious health risk. Mr. Hung, a 70-year-old man living in a quiet rural town, believed he was doing everything right. He exercised daily, tended to his garden, and followed what most would call a healthy lifestyle. But one morning, something unexpected happened. While caring for his plants, he suddenly collapsed, leaving all of us wondering what hidden dangers might be lurking in our daily routines that we never even question. In today's video, we'll uncover 3 overlooked morning habits that could be quietly harming you or someone you love. From exercising on an empty stomach to standing up too quickly after sleep, these common routines may be doing more harm than good, especially for older adults. Stick with us until the end, because the small adjustments you'll learn today are just about avoiding health risks. They could help extend your life, improve your independence, and bring you more energy each day. You'll also discover how to build a lasting legacy of health and wisdom, something you can pass down to the next generation. So, grab a seat, take a deep breath, and let's begin the journey to transform your mornings and your well-being. Tip number 1: the hidden danger of skipping breakfast and moving too soon. Have you ever wondered why someone who seems perfectly healthy, someone who exercises regularly, can suddenly collapse just minutes after waking up? It's not always due to age or some undetected chronic illness. Sometimes, it's simply because they skipped breakfast and started moving too soon. A seemingly harmless action like stepping into the garden and bending down to pull weeds on an empty stomach can be the tipping point for a cardiovascular system already quietly weakening with age. Many people over 60 believe that skipping breakfast is a healthy choice, often tied to buzzwords like intermittent fasting. But from my clinical experience, skipping meals plus early morning exertion equals the risky combination for older adults. You're placing your heart, brain, and blood vessels under stress precisely when they are at their most fragile. A study published in Circulation and confirmed by the Cleveland Clinic reveals that 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the highest risk window for strokes and heart attacks in older adults. After a full night's sleep, your body enters the biological startup phase. Blood sugar is at its lowest, making your brain and muscles more vulnerable to energy shortages. Cortisol and adrenaline spike, raising blood pressure, a natural wake-up reflex, but one that also increases the risk of plaque rupture and clot formation. Peripheral blood circulation is still sluggish from hours of lying down. It's like starting a cold engine and gunning it up a hill. An older heart simply can't adapt fast enough. The result? Dizziness, fainting, or worse, a mini stroke, TIA, or a full-blown stroke. Mr. Coleman, 68, was a retired firefighter. Fit, active, and health conscious. One morning, he woke up and walked into his backyard to chop wood without eating anything. Just 5 minutes later, the world went black. He collapsed on the spot. At the hospital, we diagnosed a transient ischemic attack, TIA, a warning stroke that often precedes a real one. All triggered by a seemingly innocent chain of events: wake up, skip food, exert force, lose consciousness. If you're over 60, your morning routine needs a safer, smarter reset. White heavy checkmark: eat something within 30 to 60 minutes of waking up, Warm oatmeal with berries and walnuts. 1 boiled egg with whole grain toast. Avoid coffee on an empty stomach. Start with warm water or herbal tea instead. White heavy check mark. Move gently after eating and hydrating. Slow walking, deep breathing, light stretches. Skip yard work, heavy lifting, or intense workouts first thing in the morning. White heavy check mark. Monitor your blood pressure regularly, especially if you have a history of hypertension or heart disease. Breakfast isn't just about filling your stomach, it's preventive medicine for your nervous system, heart, and brain. You deserve to start your day energized, clear-headed, and safe, not in an ER after passing out in your garden. If Elon Musk can launch satellites into space but still starts his day with warm water and 5 minutes of meditation, maybe it's time we ask ourselves, what truly counts as a daily achievement? Good health doesn't come from expensive tech, it comes from honoring simple habits. And one of the simplest, yet most powerful, is how you begin your morning. Tip number 2. The hidden risk of jumping out of bed too quickly. You may have thought that jumping out of bed the moment you open your eyes is a sign of energy and vitality. But in reality, this could be one of the most dangerous habits for people over the age of 60. In the first 3 seconds after waking, your body transitions from a resting state to movement, from lying flat to standing up. And if you think that's just a minor shift, consider this: many fractures, hospitalizations, and even fatalities in older adults begin in that exact moment. Don't let a sense of urgency fool you. When you stand up too quickly after a night's sleep, you put yourself at risk for something called orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when moving from lying down to standing. It's not rare. In fact, it's common, silent, and often overlooked in seniors. According to Harvard Health Publishing, orthostatic hypotension affects 20 to 30% of adults over 65, and it's a leading cause of dizziness or lightheadedness upon standing, blurred vision or disorientation, dangerous morning falls, hip fractures, brain bleeds, or even death from indirect injuries. Here's why it happens. When you're lying down, your blood flows fairly evenly throughout your body. But when you stand suddenly, gravity pulls blood down to your legs. For a few moments, your brain receives less oxygen-rich blood. In younger people, the autonomic nervous system quickly reacts. Blood vessels constrict. Heart rate increases. Blood pressure stabilizes. But after 60, those reflexes slow down significantly. Blood vessels lose elasticity. Pressure sensors in arteries react more slowly. The nervous system becomes less responsive. The result? Your brain experiences a brief lack of oxygen, enough to cause dizziness, imbalance, and potentially a life-altering fall. Mrs. Jefferson, 81, was always independent. One early morning, the phone rang. Out of habit, she jumped out of bed to answer it. But just a few steps from her bedroom, she felt lightheaded and fell hard onto the wooden floor. She suffered a hip fracture, underwent joint replacement surgery, spent nearly 3 weeks in the hospital, and over a year in rehab. But worse than the injury itself was the loss of confidence in her own body. She became less active, more dependent, and more anxious. All because of one impulsive movement less than 10 seconds long. As a physician, I always recommend this 5-step morning safety routine to anyone over 60. Backed by research from Mayo Clinic and Harvard, it's simple and effective. 1. Stay lying down for 30 to 60 seconds after waking. Give your circulatory system time to stabilize before shifting positions. 2. Gently move your feet and ankles. This promotes blood flow to your limbs and reduces stiffness. 3. Take 3 deep breaths. This boosts oxygen to the brain and activates the nervous system. 4. Sit up slowly, letting your feet rest on the floor. Allow your body to adjust to the upright position. 5. Wait another 30 seconds before standing. Once you feel steady, begin walking slowly, no rushing. Even if you've only felt dizzy once upon standing, don't ignore it. It could be the first signal of a deeper imbalance in your system. Falls are not a normal part of aging, they are often the result of preventable habits. Don't force your body to react. Give it the grace and space to adapt. Jeff Bezos once said that his most important decisions were made in the morning when he allowed himself to be still and clear-headed. Our bodies deserve that same stillness, a calm, unrushed morning that sets the tone for the rest of the day. Because the way you get out of bed isn't just a physical act, it's a message to yourself. I respect this body. I'm not just here to survive, I am here to live well. Now that you know how to stand up safely, there's one more overlooked habit that could be putting your health at risk. Your morning bathroom routine. Did you know that the way you strain on the toilet could actually rupture a blood vessel in your brain? In the next chapter, we'll uncover the surprising link between bowel movements and stroke risk and how to protect yourself with just a few small changes. Tip number 3, the hidden cardiovascular risk of straining on the toilet, what most people don't know. Have you ever imagined that something as routine as your morning bathroom trip could lead to fainting, a stroke, or even sudden death? It sounds unbelievable, but in the world of medicine, this is a very real and deeply concerning phenomenon, especially among older adults. Several of my elderly patients have faced serious medical emergencies simply from straining too hard during constipation, particularly right after waking, when the cardiovascular system is at its most fragile. You may think pushing a little harder while on the toilet is harmless. But the truth is it triggers a chain of dangerous physiological responses, especially for those with underlying conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease, or arrhythmias. In medical terms, this act is known as the Valsalva maneuver, when you hold your breath and bear down to force stool out. But this pressure skyrockets internal strain on your chest and abdomen, causing rapid and dramatic shifts in blood pressure and heart rate, something aging hearts and brains often can't keep up with. Possible outcomes include sudden drop in heart rate, bradycardia, decreased blood flow to the brain, passing out on the toilet, known as defecation syncope, and in extreme cases, stroke, brain aneurysm rupture, or cardiac arrest. When you push hard, the pressure in your chest and abdomen increases significantly. This reduces the return of blood to the heart, which can lower cardiac output. While your body attempts to compensate, aging vessels, atherosclerosis, or certain medications may blunt that response. Morning is already a tricky time for your cardiovascular system. Blood pressure fluctuates more than usual. Cortisol and adrenaline levels spike. Blood vessels are still adjusting after hours of lying flat. Now add the strain of pushing and you've got the perfect storm for a silent stroke. One of my patients, Mr. Albert, 76, had well-controlled hypertension and no smoking or alcohol habits. He'd been mildly constipated for a few days, and that morning, he strained hard while trying to have a bowel movement. He passed out in the bathroom. His wife found him unconscious on the floor, his face bluish. In the ER, he was diagnosed with an acute brain hemorrhage, leading to partial paralysis and permanent memory loss. He was doing everything right until one stressful moment in the bathroom changed everything. 5 doctor recommended strategies for safer bowel movements after 60. 1. Elevate your feet. Use a small stool, like a squatty potty, to raise your feet while on the toilet. This mimics a natural squatting position, reducing rectal angle and making it easier to pass stool without straining. 2. Drink warm water first thing in the morning. A glass of warm water, around 8 to 10 ounces, right after waking can trigger the gastrocolic reflex, gently stimulating bowel movement. 3. Add daily fiber. Aim for 25-30 g of fiber per day from whole grains, leafy greens, berries, beans, and ground flax seeds. Oprah Winfrey has credited a high-fiber, plant-rich diet for helping her manage chronic constipation after age 50 without medication. 4. Use stool softeners if needed but don't rely on them. Magnesium citrate, psyllium husk, or OTC softeners may help temporarily, but always under a doctor's guidance. 5. Limit time on the toilet. No more than 5 to 10 minutes per session. Leave your phone or magazines out of the bathroom. Prolonged sitting increases rectal pressure and can lead to hemorrhoids or rectal prolapse. If you're taking blood pressure meds, diuretics, opioids, or antidepressants, you're at higher risk for constipation and related complications. Talk to your doctor if you're having fewer than 3 bowel movements per week or feel anxious each time you use the bathroom. Holding it in or pushing too hard isn't just uncomfortable, it could be dangerous. Jeff Bezos once said, "Every process should be optimized." And I believe that even applies to your bathroom habits. Because respecting your body isn't just about what you eat or how you exercise, it's about caring for even the smallest daily routines. The gentle act of propping up your feet or sipping warm water may seem minor, but it's a way to honor the body that's carried you through decades of life. Now that you've learned how to avoid a silent danger hiding in your bathroom, you might be wondering, what habit could impact not just your own health but your entire family's long-term well-being? What we've seen today is simple but life-changing. It's not about avoiding movement. It's about respecting your body's rhythm. It's not about fearing the morning. It's about learning how to start it wisely. From eating something within 30 minutes of waking up, to standing up more slowly, to changing how you sit in the bathroom. These are not just tips. They are acts of self-respect, of self-preservation, of love for the people who depend on you. Because your health is not just your story, it's part of your family's future. So here's your simple action plan for tomorrow morning. Step 1. Before you even sit up in bed, wiggle your toes, take a deep breath, and wait 60 seconds. Step 2. Eat something nourishing: oatmeal, fruit, a boiled egg before reaching for the coffee or doing any physical tasks. Step 3. Drink a glass of warm water. Let your body ease into the day. Step 4. If you need to use the bathroom, prop your feet, breathe, and never strain. Step 5, and most importantly, slow down. You've earned the right to live each morning with care, not urgency. As Jeff Bezos once said, Your best decisions are made when you are calm and clear. Your body deserves that calm. And your loved ones deserve the healthiest version of you. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't just stand up. Rise with intention. Eat with awareness. Move with grace. Because in the end, longevity isn't just about living longer. It's about living well, one mindful morning at a time. Now let's talk about something even more unexpected. How a quiet moment in your bathroom could be quietly damaging your heart and brain. Stay with me because this next chapter might surprise you even more.